What up? It's your boy GemMint. Time for the new comic book day haul and reviews. What's going on, everybody? If you've been keeping up with the channel, you'll know that I've been getting back into single issues, so that has been requiring some catch up so that I can be up to date with new stuff that's coming out. So that's why this is going to be a haul slash review, because everything that I could read this week, I read, and I'm going to talk about it. Absolute Wonder Woman 9 came out this week. I haven't read issue 7. I had to order it off Midtown Comics. So once 7 comes in, I'll read 7, 8, and 9, and I'll be up to date with Wonder Woman. It's by Kelly Thompson. Who's the artist? Sherman on here. It's been a great run, man. I've really been digging all the Absolute titles. The only one that I dropped was Absolute Martian Manhunter, and people seem to like that one, so I don't know if it was just me. The Ultimates issue 13, I'm not caught up. I'm going to hang tight to this because volume 2 of the trade paperback should probably be coming out soon, and then that'll catch me up with issues, 7 through 12, and I'll get caught up on Ultimates. Eddie Brock Carnage 4, I have to get 2 and 3. So I read issue 1, I got issue 5, tracked down 4, 2 and 3 are coming. I was trying to collect or hunt down the new TMNT from Image Comics, the Jason Aaron run. My LCS was able to get me issue 4. The thing is, today, the hardcover library edition comes in that collects the first 6 issues. So I'll probably give up on the singles for issues 1 through 6, read that, and then just try to get caught up. All right, so some stuff that's not really this week, but I did get caught up on is Absolute Green Lantern issues 2 and 3. I don't know when issue 3 came out, probably a couple of weeks ago. This one is by Al Ewing and Lindsay. Who's the artist? I hate how sometimes they put the credits in the front and sometimes they put it in the back. It makes it very difficult. Oh, here we go. Janoy Lindsay, art, color, and cover. So just to give you a little idea of what's going on in Absolute Green Lantern, they kind of really flip the origins all around in all of these Absolute titles, which actually makes it really fun for me. So you have Hal Jordan. He gets visited by Abin Sur, and it's not like how it was back in the day. It's really more extraterrestrial-y. I mean, he is an alien. It's like you're being visited by aliens for the first time in almost a horror scene. Big Green Lantern logo drops down on the city. It affects Hal Jordan. It affects Joe. We get introduced to this version of John Stewart, and the playing with the whole yellow being the weakness of the green power of will, and how they're using that to escape, Central City, that they're kind of trapped in this dome. It's like an extraterrestrial horror story. I'm really digging it. The Curse of Shirley Johnson, issue number 1. This is a Spawn title, and it's by Daniel Henriquez and Jonathan Glapion. So this follows the events of Spawn 5 and Spawn 300 in a sense. Spawn 5 is the Billy Kincaid issue, the one that I recently reread in the Spawn Deluxe Edition Volume 1, and I was talking about how it's a really difficult issue to read, especially growing up, having daughters, being a father, all that stuff. I'm a little bit confused on what's going on here. It seems like one of the kids that he murdered, the little girl that he chops off her fingers and glues them to the wall, that Spawn comes a little bit too late and then kills Billy Kincaid way back in the day. Is this her being resurrected and killed over and over again? It's like her exploits in hell, or is it Billy Kincaid trapped in her body? There was a Billy Kincaid resurrection as well after Spawn 300. Something about the explosion that he let off, that big pivotal event. I'm a little bit confused. I got to tell you, though, the art was really incredible in this issue, though. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. She's got kind of the clown makeup on her face. It's got to be Billy Kincaid as the girl. I'm thinking that's what's happened here. I'm a little bit lost, as you can see. Guys, Void Rivals. I feel like people are really sleeping on Void Rivals. I just got the deluxe edition, so I reread. I forget where I dropped off, but I read issues 1 through 12 in the deluxe edition, and then I read just now, in like the span of 2 days, issues 13 through 20, issue 20 being the most recent issue. I don't know if it came out this week or maybe last week. So not to give you a whole recap of the entire story, I do kind of plan on doing a video on that, but in issue 20, where we're at is the whole premise of Void Rivals is you have these 2 planets and you have this star in the middle. The star, the energy gets drained, it becomes a black hole. So in order to survive, both of these civilizations had to essentially make their planets the sacred ring. If you've ever seen like that concept of the donut-shaped planet, it's kind of like that, but it's two halves connected surrounding the black hole, kind of like a Dyson sphere kind of thing. So we're at the point of the story where we understand what caused that. What caused the star to become a black hole? Why were these two civilizations pitted against each other that they could never unite? Why do they have to be divided? So, I'm going to keep this vague because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So we find out why. We find out about the Zetra Trian, who that character is, their kind of deity with these two civilizations, and why half of them are calling to unite and half of them are still trying to keep everybody separated. So being vague on purpose, I'm really digging the story. You got Transformers showing up, and what they do a great job of here, especially because I just got done watching the original Transformers cartoon, seasons 1 through 4, and the 1986 movie. The Void Rivals story takes place kind of where the Quintessent are introduced in the 86 movie, and seasons 3 and 4 have those wacky aliens like Scuzoid that looks like a Power Rangers villain. So we're playing in that universe. We're like on that side of the universe with those civilizations, and Cybertron is mentioned, and you have the cameos from first Jetfire, then Hot Rod, then Springer, and Robert Kirkman just juggles so many different characters in this book. He does a great job. There is like 6 main characters that it kind of bounces back and forth through. People are sleeping on Void Rivals. This is a great story. We've got a brand new San Diego Comic-Con drop from Paraz Entertainment. Anime by Rob Cannon. We've got 8 exclusive covers with cover art by Sukisha Ray and Jeffrey Tai, with homages to Akira, Evangelion, and Drive. You can get it at the That Spider-Man booth Whatnot during San Diego Comic-Con, or if you're at the show, check out JPG at booth 802. So I read this X-Men #1, Demons in Death. It's by Pakendell, Sevi, and Hesley. I read it because it was kind of a light week for me for new comics, even though I did read a good amount of stuff. Some was from last week or whatever. But I read this. It's 2 stories. One of them is essentially Havoc's aftermath from the Krakoa era, how he was resurrected by Madeline Pryor, and it just kind of follows that path. And then the secondary story is a kind of Omega Red origin story. It's the reason why I didn't pick it up in physical copies. I didn't really care too much for the stories. It was just kind of like whatever. So I don't know. If there's an issue 2 for that, I probably won't pick it up. Boom Studios with a new #1 for VR Troopers. This is by Margaret Scott, Sebastian Perez, and JP Jordan. So I read this because I got the PDF of it. I thought, okay, cool, new #1. I've seen VR Troopers as a kid. Like, I'm familiar with the term. I don't really remember being a fan of the show or the toys or anything. And I guess this is going to be light spoilers, but honestly, I don't think anybody really cares about VR Troopers. This is spinning out of the Power Rangers Prime series that they have ongoing right now as well. So it's kind of like trying to do its own Energon universe thing. I asked in my live chat, I don't think VR Troopers was really in the Power Rangers universe in the shows and all of that stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like they're trying to connect VR Troopers to the Power Rangers universe. It's kind of like a Power Rangers type story. I didn't really dig it, to be honest. And then by popular demand, I did get caught up on reading issues 1, which was a long-ass issue, and issue 2 of Exquisite Corpses. Now, as soon as I saw that, oh, this is Tinian, I was like, okay, of course it's going to be good. And it is good. Issues 1 and 2 are very good. This is, the concept of Exquisite Corpses is, there are 13 families that secretly run the United States. What we know as presidential elections and government is all just theater. So this is kind of, is this fiction or not? So you have these 13 families, and the way that they determine who is in power, every 5 years they hold this game, kind of like a Hunger Games type of vibe mixed with the Purge. So they basically take over a city, and they all have their own killer that represents their state or whatever. And whoever is the last one alive wins. And then you're in power. That family's in power. Let's say they don't give the names, but the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or whatever are in power for the next 5 years. What's cool about Exquisite Corpses is that Tinian makes those killers that represents each one of those families or what have you kind of like a comic book character. Like, you see the covers, right? You got this like fox face guy. They all have kind of a theme or a shtick or a thing. The main family that we're kind of following is the Massachusetts family, and they have like this ex-soldier who was dishonorably discharged, but he's not like a lunatic killer like a lot of the others. So the point is they put him in there, and whoever is alive last wins. But then like the families do all these types of side bets, who can rack up the most kills. Basically, everybody in that town is screwed. And they do introduce us to characters that are from the town, and we're going to witness, you know, this going on through their eyes, as well as the families that are, you know, multi-billion-dollar families behind the scenes making bets. It's a game to them. This takes place on Halloween, and it's basically like this brutal kill fest. So it's kind of cool, kind of fun stuff, man. Exquisite Corpses. I can see why you guys recommended it. All right, out this week, Ultimate Spider-Man issue 18. This is Jonathan Hickman along with Marco Cicchetto. So from issues 13 to 18, I must have missed a couple here and there. I read Ultimate Incursion. This doesn't tie in with that or mention it at all, which I felt was kind of weird. Maybe it takes place before. The synopsis of the story did help me get caught up a little bit with what's going on. So what's funny about the Ultimate Universe and the 616 Amazing Spider-Man universe is that you got Peter Parker palling it up with Osborns. So as you can see in this panel, there's a nice cool scene where Peter and Harry, I guess they've kind of not been patrolling as much as they had been, so they got to link back up, beat up some bad guys. Everything is all good. There's a lot of revelations with Harry Osborn's wife, Gwen Stacy. There is this Kingpin story that they're setting up, and Richard Parker, who is Peter's son. I guess Peter's wearing a regular costume, and that kind of Picto suit they're calling, the one that Tony Stark gave him in issue 1, Richard Parker is wearing it, so he's kind of like the Venom. It's the black suit, but it's not a symbiote. It's like nanotech. So he is getting involved with the ultimate version of Black Cat, and he's finding out who she really is as a person, quite literally. I think that's how she even frames it at the end of this issue. So kind of a slower issue. Not a lot happened, trying to set up this Kingpin storyline. And there you go. And then the last one, guys, Spider-Man vs. Wolverine 2. The artwork in this book is incredible. This is written by Guggenheim, but Kari Andrews, channeled his 90s Todd McFarlane throughout this whole issue. This issue was like a treat for the eyes. Here's a nice 90s style double page spread, you know, sideways. But there are so many McFarlane isms. First of all, you just had the spaghetti webbing right there. But there, like, look at this right here. This pose, the way that this is done, the shadowing, it just channels McFarlane, and I loved every minute of it. This was a huge slugfest between Wolverine and Spider-Man. And what's funny about this as well is that Wolverine in this issue, they're kind of winter soldiering him a little bit, just like Ultimate Wolverine, in the sense that we know that Peter Parker's parents, it's May and Richard, I believe. No, Marie? Why did you say that name? Were spies that were killed, and they're trying to implicate Wolverine, Logan, as their killer, kind of like how Winter Soldier killed Tony Stark's parents, but it wasn't really his fault, kind of a thing. So huge slug match, amazing art here, and it ends with a gut-wrenching ending that obviously I don't want to spoil, but let's just show a little bit more of the art here, you know, no context. This gets art of the week for sure. I don't think I'm reading enough titles yet to really start giving picks of the week, and plus, I don't really want to do that until I'm only reading what's come out this week, but bro, art of the week for sure. So Spider-Man and Wolverine, Ultimate Spider-Man, caught up all the way on Absolute Green Lantern. I don't know. You guys, help me out with this one. Void Rivals, I'm all the way caught up, and we're going to get caught up on Ultimate Wonder Woman and all that great stuff too, man. So that's the haul. What did you guys think about this week's comics? What am I missing? What am I not reading that I really need to be picking up? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.